Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to my second Power Morphicon video. This is going to be my review of the Power Morphicon exclusive Lord Drakkon action figure, and the also Power Morphicon exclusive Lord Drakkon throne. Now, you might have noticed that I started kind of talking about these in the swag video that I recently posted. I actually did go ahead and do full reviews of them in that video while I was shooting it. But one, as my videos tend to do, it got really long. And then also I was shooting it on my iPhone because the camera battery died, and I just, it wasn't the level of quality I wanted for these specific items. So I wanted to go ahead and make a separate video doing it right to talk about these separately. We're going to start out by reviewing the action figure, and then we're going to talk about the throne, which I haven't seen a lot of people talk about yet. So hopefully my video on that is going to be really helpful. So we start out here with Lord Drakkon, which, as you can see right up there, is a Bandai figure. This is one of the last little things we're getting from Bandai of America before the license goes over to Hasbro. The box is very nice. It's glossy. It's got a nice little 25th anniversary logo on it here, a shiny silver sticker, and that is the brand one, not the Morpher one that we've seen Hasbro using. And it's also got a Power Morphicon kind of hollow foil sticker on it there. This outside part here, as you can see when I do this, is a sleeve, which is kind of a neat touch, I think. Lends a little mystery to what's going on inside there. Lord Drakkon seated... I was going to say Lord Drakkon seated on nothing, because if you look here underneath his hand, you can't really see anything. But down here below his legs, you can see the throne. It has this little... I don't even know what you would necessarily call this, but just like the lightning bolt in a slightly different texture that has a gloss on it, while the rest of it is kind of a sheen. So that's pretty cool. Side of the box, as usual, not much to say there. Side of the box, also not much to say there. Interestingly enough, that design does wrap around. It's not really necessary on this side. You can just see the edge of the throne and like a little bit of his hand. Over on this side, it's a little more obvious because you've got some of his shoulder armor and his arm and etc. But that's interesting. Here on the back, that's actually a very good picture of the figure. The way I can show you that you can tell, if you look at his neck right here, you see a little circle divot there. And you can see by his neck right here, there's a little space. So this is actually the figure, but it's a beautiful picture. And then there's a little story here. And that says, Lord Drakkon is an intensely evil version of Tommy Oliver from an alternate universe who rules his Earth with dystopian philosophies. Lord Drakkon first appeared in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 9 from Boom Comics. Maybe I'll get around to reviewing that eventually. No, I'm going to get around to reviewing that eventually. That's about all there is to say for the sleeve, so let's pop that off. There you go. There's the man of the hour, or the action figure of the hour. There's Mr. Drakkon right there. You can see the box comes with a Lord Drakkon figure. You have a hip holster for the Dragon Dagger. And over here you have fully painted Dragon Dagger and a fully painted Saba. You can actually see just even from inside of the box that they actually did use a shiny gold paint on this. Not like the Butterscotch Zeo Ranger. I don't imagine they even wanted to try to get away with that with a figure we're paying this much for at our exclusive fan convention. You have that lightning bolt logo with Lord Drakkon's helmet face on it there, looking very menacing. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers right there. I think you go inside, there's another little Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but just kind of a whole lot of negative space right there. The other side of the box, the right side of the box, has a side window. Doesn't really show you anything, but I guess it's neat to have. And then on the back here, we have a full shot of the figure posed in a way that it probably can't stand. I'm going to try to replicate that. We'll see if it works, and I'll get to what I'm talking about in a second. No story or description or anything because, of course, that's on the sleeve there. And distributed by Bandai America. Da-da-da-da-da. Alright, let's open her up and take a look. So before we get into Lord Drakkon himself, I really want to talk about his accessories because I feel like they're really a highlight of the piece here because of just how well painted and intricate they are. So we're going to start out with the Dragon Dagger right here, and I have to say this is very impressively painted. It has a shimmery green on it. It has a nice gold. It looks very accurate, and I would know because I happen to have the genuine article right here, the Legacy Dragon Dagger right there. Comparing the two of them, the only little things I notice is that the mouthpiece section is silver up here, but on this one it is the black, and the buttons are gold, and on here they're also black, but that's really kind of nitpicking. I'm going to have to zoom way in and get these detail shots to just show you guys. But this is well painted, and I really do think it's very nice. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Legacy Saba to show you, but I also think this is a very well painted accessory. The blade, trying to catch you here, is a shimmery silver. The gold is a shimmery gold that is actually gold. The tiger coin symbol is well detailed. They painted his eyes. That is little tiny red dots. They got the black sections on the side of the head, the silver on the hood, for lack of a better term. This is an extremely well painted accessory. But why focus on the accessories when you can focus on the man that wields them? Let's take a look at Mr. Drakkon himself. I also think this figure is very well painted. One of the first things that catches the eye is up on his shield here. This green is shimmery, almost glittery, which I think is a very nice touch. It kind of makes it stand out very well. The gold on him is not really a shimmery gold. It's kind of a flat gold. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of conveys the textures of the suit and everything. The head, which is on a swivel. That's very cool. I mean, it's not much of a swivel, especially because of the shield and the neck and the back, but he can look down, you know, and he can look up like that, and he can even do that, you know, that thing from the trailer.
They could have been gods.
They could have been gods. Very nice detailing on the helmet. The stripes are all painted there and actually inset into the plastic. The little diamond on his head is painted very nicely. This is a very well painted figure. The morpher is gold, has the black stripes, has the coin symbol on the inside, which is very nice. Something I haven't really seen established in the comics to this point that I would kind of like at least looked at is the question of whether Lord Drakkon has a power coin, and does that power coin keep changing as he modifies his power set? I'd be interested. So one thing you might notice right away looking at this is that this figure is very well articulated. It has kind of swivelly ball joints on the legs, the knees bend and the legs twist. It has foot articulation right there. Very, very bendy. It swivels right above the belt, just like that. I actually thought mine was off center because it was kind of like that, and then I was like, oh, he swivels right there. So that's good. The arms, again, the shield kind of gets in the way, and I've actually seen some people complaining about the arms getting stuck. They have a little bit for me, but I've been fortunate. Interestingly, the arms, as far as the shoulder joints, are kind of click lock, if that makes any sense. Like, they have their positions and, like, their click lock to kind of stay in place. So I find that pretty interesting. And he's got an ab crunch right there. And if that looks like it's swiveling kind of easily, welcome to some of the problems with this figure. Lots of reports early on, and I'm seeing some of it in my own figure, that these are not the tightest joints you've ever seen on an action figure. And to demonstrate, I'm going to take perhaps the most evil character in the Power Rangers universe and do this with him. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, swing, whoa, 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 wee, ay, 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 do, 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 do. That is a very loose ab crunch. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, you might wonder what the big deal is about that. I mean, hey, he can bend down, he can bend up, he can bend down, he can bend up. He can do crunches because he's working out because he's Lord Drakkon. Alright, anyway. The problem is the shield, which, by the way, I just thought to check. Yeah, the shield is molded to the body. It doesn't come off because we haven't seen anything in story as far as transferring the shield, because why would Lord Drakkon transfer his shield? He doesn't want to share his power with anyone. But that shield makes the top section of the figure top-heavy. So he can be difficult to pose. You see already there, he's leaning forward. You gotta make sure to get the top in the right place there, and then you see, there you go. It's kind of a give and take, I think, with figures that are articulated this well, is there's a lot of places for them to bend. There he's standing. You just look up, Drakkon. Admire your audience. You cannot have my Orange Ranger power. No. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to try to emulate the pose from the back of the box here with him holding Saba because... Oh, and the Dragon Dagger. Because I think it's going to be tricky. So, okay, we're going to... This leg bends this way.
And bends way down. And this leg, the foot points out that direction. And it's kind of like that. He's turned a little bit, I think. This arm points up. He's leaned a little more forward than that, I think. Oh, boy. Okay, that foot catches him a little more.
Here's a really annoying part, and I really wish this is something they would have done. So either swappable hands or a joint in the hand that would allow for opening and closing, because he's just got the single hand mold here, and that makes it incredibly difficult to get him to hold weapons, as I will now demonstrate.
You just have to kind of bend the plastic. I know people who deal with action figures a lot are used to this. You know, and you kind of want his thumb to get around like that, and then you have to mess with standing him up again. You know, okay, so it's kind of like there. This would have to catch him here.
I feel like this is going to be the highlight of this video. It's like, it is very difficult to get him to strike that pose.
Strike a pose, Drakkon. Preferably the one I'm trying to get you into. I don't need his legs are spread that far. There we go. You have to look up, too. Okay. So then he's holding the dagger kind of backhanded with the gold piece facing forward, so this way. The dagger will be a little easier to get into his hand, or so I thought, there we go, because it has a smaller handle. And he's holding that like right in front of him like that. This leg really is kind of extended though, like, you know, so, Power Ranger. His chest, oh Lord.
What are the chances that they used a neon green figure stand for this picture and then keyed it out?
Holding that up a little more and kind of back. He's still really looking up.
There. It's dag-nabbit.
Oh boy. See, this is what I was talking about. Okay.
There. That is about as close as I can get. I'm going to risk turning him more towards the camera. To emulating the pose on the box. I don't think it's really there. But, yeah. That's about as close as I can get. So, as you can see, it's a pain in the butt standing this thing up. You might even think that a figure that is this difficult to stand up may have been designed to sit down.
Just stand up normally. Poop. Do this like arm like saw. Well, and then you hold it this way. Like I'm Lord Drakkon and you are a fool that will die.
And that is where this comes in. This is an item that was introduced actually quite late before, just like 1 or 2 weeks, I think. I'll try to put up the exact date. I can probably find that on the Power Morphicon website when they made a post about it. quite late before the convention was set to happen. It was kind of a surprise. This is a thing we're going to be selling, so register for it now, which lends credence to people thinking that this may have been tossed together, created, because they realized that the Drakkon figure has trouble standing up and you would need a good way to display it. And that's also a way to get a couple of more Xanabatars, if you know what I'm talking about. So, this is the Lord Drakkon throne. I want to say off the top of my head, this was also $50, like the figure. It may have been $45. Sean put it in here. So, funny story about the box and the sticker you see here. Well, first of all, this I think is very cool. It's a limited edition of 500, so only 500 of the attendees of Power Morphicon and the non-attending people who signed up for it got one of these. Mine is number 20, so apparently I jumped on this pretty early, or they randomized the number distribution. But, you know, when you have something in the first 100 of a 500 limited edition set, that's pretty neat. But I went to pick this up on Friday, and it wasn't there. They hadn't arrived yet. So what they did is they gave out this sticker and told people to make sure they didn't lose it. It was this sticker on like a sheet. And they make sure not to lose it, to bring it back the next day, and you'd be able to pick it up. That line was never short enough for me to do that on Saturday, but I did manage to get over there on Sunday and pick it up, and they just took that sticker off, slapped her right on the box here. So really, the sticker is all there is to talk about. It's a nice, slightly more cartoonishly stylized drawing of Lord Drakkon by an artist scribble. I'll try to find it, see if I can put in a credit here, but yeah. So again, the box is just a generic, nondescript box. This wasn't really, you know, an item that was even designed to look like it was being sold in stores like the Drakkon figure. You know, this is just, we're making thrones and we're going to put them in a box. So let's get them out of the box. There it is. It's the throne we have seen Drakkon in a number of different media. The comics, obviously. I don't know how individually these are put together. I remember seeing them say that these are handmade. I know the two ridges you see here, I know that's part of the design, but the outcropping parts might be different or whatever. It has a good weight to it. It's a nice solid piece. I mean, you know, that's heavy. It's not styrofoam. I mean, it might be styrofoam on the inside and like coated with a resin or something, but you know, I'm kind of glad I'm using the light on my camera here because it's catching these little, you know, nooks and crannies and the shininess and detail of this. I mean, you come around to the back and very interesting here. I just noticed on the side as I was spinning this around, these little kind of spots in it, and they're shiny, so I think they're intentional. I find that interesting. I've only had this out of the box once when I tried to include the review of it with the video the first time. Otherwise, it's been wrapped in the bubble wrap in the box, so it's not like I've dropped it or anything. So I'm thinking those are intentional. I just thought you would see that over more of it. Flat on the bottom, obviously. Needs to be flat, you know. So, honestly, there's not a whole lot you can say about a throne. It's a chair. So let's take a look at how the evil Mr. Oliver looks sitting on his throne. Good! No, I'm kidding.
Plop that dude in. You kind of take the arms and be like, this is my kingdom. I rule it with two very sharp, pointy things. Dare you challenge my dominance in having pointy weapons?
There he is. I have him holding the accessories there, and, well, the arms go flatter. This one is like pushing him up, but yeah. There you go. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. You know, considering this as a display piece, I think that is pretty good there. kind of like I was saying, when you're sitting him in a chair to display him, you don't really have to be concerned about the ab crunch and how easy he is to stand up and whatever. He can sit down, and that's why this all seems to tie together. But I think overall it's a good looking piece. I'm somewhere between being happy with it and not regretting that I got it, if that makes any sense. You know, I don't regret that I got it. I'm glad I got both of these because I think they're really cool pieces. And if anything else, they serve as touchstones to the memory of Power Morphicon and the amazingness of the Boom comics and the character of Lord Drakkon, and etc., etc. There are serious drawbacks to the figure. The ab crunch and the leg joints are really loose, and that makes the figure very difficult to pose. There's a lot of problems with the posing and the articulation on the figure. I will also say, I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, the gold on the figure, while it is gold and not yellow, I do wish it was a little bit darker and a little bit more shimmery. It still comes off as a touch flat. It's the right color. I'm not saying it's not gold. Just, I kind of wish it was a little darker to give it a slightly more imposing look. The figure is unusually bright, I will say. It's got that shimmery green plastic, you know, and the gold. It's all very accurate, and I mean, Lord Drakkon's first form is white and gold and red and green, so it is bright, but still, I feel like darkening that gold a little bit would have made this a little bit more imposing, but still, I think it's a good figure. I think the throne is a nice addition to it. There's really, again, not much to say about the throne, but for what it is, it's well made, it looks good, and in some senses, it really rescues the functionality of the figure as a display piece. So I'm going to go ahead and give both the Lord Drakkon Legacy figure and the Throne accessory scores of 3 out of 5. That's going to wrap it up for my review of the Lord Drakkon figure and the throne. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Like I said, again, I've been seeing a number of review videos for the figure out already, but it doesn't seem like too many people sprang for the throne. I will admit it was kind of an impulse buy for me. At first, when I saw it, I was like, $50 for a throne, and, you know, I'm not doing that. And then there was that voice in my head that was like, my first Power Morphicon, you know, live a little. Why not? Why not have one if it's limited edition? So there you go. I got it, and hopefully if you see one of these thrones on eBay or wherever people secondhand market sell stuff like this, it'll help you decide. I've heard some people say that are getting the Drakkon figure, you know, they understand that it needs something to sit down on basically to be worth displaying. And they're picking up other thrones, like I think the Star Wars line has a Snoke throne. I heard somebody's picking that up, and I think this figure would look good in any kind of regal imperial throne. So, yeah, you know, that's an idea, but maybe you want the genuine article and someone's got one up on eBay or something. Hopefully this video will help you decide whether that's something you want to do. Keep it here for more Power Morphicon content. I've got more coming. The next video I'm going to be filming is my vlog for Reflections of Power Morphicon, but of course I'm going to get each of the days of the unmorphed vlogs of that up first. If there's anything else about Power Morphicon that you want me to know about, to include in that Reflections vlog, to do videos on, anything like that, please let me know down in the comments, and I will see what I can do to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do have more Power Morphicon content coming, so hopefully that's something that you folks will enjoy watching. We've got Super Ninja Steel coming back tomorrow as I film this, so I will definitely be getting my reviews of that going once again. Hyperforce reviews are going to finish up. Comic videos are going to be coming out. I'm getting content out on this channel. I'm going to be grinding, and I hope that you guys will come along for the ride by subscribing. Like I said in the comments below, let me know anything about Power Morphicon that you would like to know that I can answer in a video, or even perhaps just in comments. And if you would like to lend a little bit of financial support to this channel, as I've said, that's going to be transitioning a little bit, I think, but for the moment, digitaltipjar.com/OrangeRangerVid. Toss me a little bit of tip change in there, and I will be happy that you did so. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. But it won't protect you from me.